Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about. Your right to privacy, the limits of your right to privacy, and how much you give away in modern America in the name of, quote, connecting people around the world.
Hey all, you who watch me now should probably join some social media community, be it Facebook, Instagram, instant messaging service, Snapchat, Twitter, dating site and apps, LinkedIn, YouTube, Reddit, or any other online service that promotes interaction between people. Taking this as a premise, I believe you read the terms of service and data policy that your network promotes, right? Right. My name is Gabriel, and let's talk a little bit about it. Look, I started this introduction with a judgmental tone with those who didn't read the terms of service before accepting to join a social network. But relax, this is not the kind of thing we usually do on a daily basis. We didn't wake up on a beautiful day and feel, whoa, today I woke up with a huge desire to read the Facebook data policy. This is because these terms are super boring and huge that don't even arouse the user's curiosity in reading. To tell you the truth, before the Cambridge Analytica scandal that we will talk about in a little while, I didn't even consider reading the terms of service for any social media. In fact, to already skip it for this video, I read the terms of service and data policy on Facebook again. And it is there where we will guide ourselves to get a sense of what we are subject when we give an accept to create an account. Facebook states the policy of collecting and processing data from its users is made through its products. Please note that in the official Facebook products description there is no WhatsApp Messenger inclusion. Surely, WhatsApp is not as popular in the USA as in the rest of the world. There are severe factors for this, but the main one is that when WhatsApp was created there in 2009, the US already had phone operators with unlimited call and SMS plans very cheap for their users. While, for example, here in Brazil, WhatsApp practically ended the SMS service offered by the telephone operators. That is, it would not sound cool to include WhatsApp in one of the products that collect personal data from users. In 2016, Facebook made some changes to the terms on WhatsApp, so that data could be collected if the user allowed. The decision, as expected, was revoked in the following year. Soon after, WhatsApp started to use end-to-end encryption. This means that, in theory, once the connection is closed, only user will have the key to read the message. In my opinion, this decision was made more for Facebook to get rid of legal problems than user security. In theory, so far our conversations and personal data on WhatsApp are protected. But what do you think about it? Doesn't Facebook really connect anything from WhatsApp? Also, within the Facebook data policy, when we use the service, personal information such as name, date of birth, and ethnicity, up to metadata, data that third parties provide about you, and the way you behave on networks are collected. I think these last three are worth explaining one by one. Metadata. Basically, metadata is the data that describes other data. An example. We can say that title and the number of pages is a book metadata. On Facebook, metadata such as a photo location you took and its creation date are collected. So be very careful when you're uploading a photo or use the Facebook and Instagram camera features. Data that third parties provide about you. Think of it this way. In addition to the information you provide to Facebook, other people can also provide information about you. This happens when someone like or comment to your publications, or when your friend imports and synchronizes contact with Facebook service. This is not me speaking, this is described in the Facebook's data policy. I was honestly surprised when I found this out, because it's going against what Mark Zuckerberg himself preaches. Because it's not all the data that Facebook has about us, we choose to make available for the platform. Last and most important, Facebook understands the way we behave in the networks, perhaps is one of the main pillars of profit for the company. Yes, we cannot forget that Facebook is not a villain. Facebook is a company that seeks profit. It is up to us to choose whether or not to participate in the community. In 2015, a study published by the President of the National Academy of Science showed that artificial intelligence can be more accurate in describing your behavior better than your friends, family, and partners with only 300 likes. This means that with AI algorithms running on the platforms, they are able to trace your social profile with extreme precision, from musical taste to political and religious positions. That's how the platform is sustained, and this is how they personalize ads and content for you to consume while using networks.
For years, Facebook said that there should be strict limits on the information the government can access on Americans. And by the way, I agreed with you that because privacy is important to Nevadans. You argued that Facebook users wouldn't trust you if they thought you were giving their private information to the intelligence community. Yet you use and sell the same data to make money. And in the case of Cambridge Analytica, you don't even know how it's used after you sell it. Can you tell us why this isn't hypocritical?
Well, Senator, once again, we don't sell any data to anyone. We don't sell it to advertisers, and we don't sell it to developers. What we do allow is for people to sign into apps and bring their data, and it used to be the data of some of their friends, but now it isn't, with them. And that, I think, makes sense. I mean, that's basic data portability, the ability that you own the data, you should be able to take it from one app to another if you'd like.
Do you believe you're more responsible with millions of Americans' personal data than the federal government would be?
Yes. But Senator, your point about surveillance, I think that there's a very important distinction to draw here, which is that when organizations do surveillance, people don't have control over that. But on Facebook, everything that you share there, you have control over. You can say, I don't want this information to be there. You have full access to understand every piece of information that Facebook might know about you, and you can get rid of all of it. And I don't know of any surveillance organization in the world that operates that way, which is why I think that comparison just isn't really apt here.
In 2018, a former research director at Cambridge Analytica, Christopher Weil, provided material in an interview to The Guardian revealing unethical methods that Cambridge Analytica used to manipulate public opinion about the 2016 US election. Initially, we believe there were about 50 million users who had their data collected illegally and without permission, but they are estimating that the leak may have affected around 87 million users, not only in the USA, but also in countries like Brazil and Australia. This is happening because the application created by Alexander Kogel did not only collect data from Facebook who use the app This Is Your Digital Life, but also data from their friends. But if Facebook doesn't sell our data to developers and advertisers, how did we have this huge Facebook leak?
Our responsibility now is to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And there are a few basic things that I think we need to do to ensure that. One is making sure that developers like Alexander Kogan, who got access to a lot of information and then improperly used it, just don't get access to as much information going forward. So we are doing a set of things to restrict the amount of access that developers can get going forward. But the other is we need to make sure that there aren't any other Cambridge Analyticas out there, right, or folks who have improperly accessed data. So we're going to go now and investigate every app that has access to a large amount of information from before we lock down our platform. And if we detect any suspicious activity, we're going to do a full forensic audit.
Yeah, I agree that's very strange for Cambridge Analytica to be able to collect all this data without an alert sounding on Facebook. But it is also a fact that when you use the app, users were given permissions for Kogan's application to collect data. The big technical issue here is, what would this data be used for? Initially, the application This Is Your Digital Life was created as a research project by the University of Cambridge, but every data set obtained was given to Cambridge Analytica, a private company, and for commercial purposes. In theory, this would already violate the Facebook terms of use, but Kogan said the Facebook knew his intentions from the start. In 2015, Facebook told Cambridge Analytica that data should be deleted. However, as we already know today, according to whistleblower Chris Wiley, the data were not deleted and were used for manipulation system of public opinion. Here we go. Now I'm gonna teach you guys how we can download our file from Facebook. Well, I have my Facebook open here. We just need clicking this drop down on the top right menu, clicking settings and privacy, clicking settings right here. On this page we have some options about your account configuration, but what matters to us now is your Facebook information right here on the left menu. We have general information here. You can view or download your information and delete your account at any time. We just need to click here and download your information. What we're gonna do now is request a copy of our personal data from Facebook file. We have some options here like dating range, but I'm gonna leave in default configuration. We just need click here and create a file. When everything is ready, we just need to click right here in available copies, and you're gonna see a screen like that. So just click in download to get a copy about your information.